So this morning in Life Lessons, we're exploring some ways to add more humor to our daily lives and not to take ourselves so seriously. Not that we have that problem here, but Paul Osincup is a humor strategist. He's a comedian. He's also the author of The Humor Habit, Rewire Your Brain to Stress Less, Laugh More, and Achieve More. Paul, good morning. Welcome.
Hi, Paul.
Great to be here.
So you write about this concept. I want to make sure I get this right. It's called chronic seriousness. What is chronic seriousness and what are the symptoms?
Well, Gallup's World Health Report said that we actually start losing the amount that we laugh once we hit age 23. No. And we don't start gaining those laughs back again until we're nearly 80. So it's like 60 years of chronic seriousness. And you'll start to notice, I mean, age 23 is about the time we enter the workforce.
Yeah.
And so that's when it's like, I got to buckle down and my job's gotten all serious. And you'll notice just in the way we talk about work gets super intense. Like, hey, I got to jump on a call and I have a hard stop. I got to run to a meeting. So shoot me an email. We'll tackle that, drill down, hammer out the details, because a lot of balls in the air and irons in the fire. So we'll cast a wide net, run it up the flagpole, take a deep dive, see if we can move the needle. So keep grinding, hustling, crushing it, and killing it, and we'll all circle back while we zoom.
Yes.
That's a symptom. You know, it's intense. So I would say one way that we can combat that is with our sense of humor. And people who do that are actually happier, more resilient, and enjoy their jobs more.
So what are some realistic ways we can inject humor? Like if we don't have an Al Roker with us at all times, what can we do that's practical?
Yeah, despite a little pocket Al, which a lot of people say that's like a normal size Al. Yeah.
That's a little awkward now, Paul. So you might want to back off.
But you could try a comedy chaser. So whatever your screen time habits are, at the end of the day when you're doom scrolling or watching your true crime documentary.
Now we like true crime around here.
Watch it, but then just chase it with something funny. You know, a few funny TikToks. Yeah, something short, SNL video, something like that. Because what you're doing is you're replacing those stress-inducing chemicals with stress-reducing chemicals before going to bed or going into work or whatever. Another kind of cool thing is we know that calming mantras work, but a lot of us can't take ourselves seriously sitting there going, I am not anxious, I am calm. So if you can't take yourself seriously, then don't. There are no rules to being an adult, right? You can do whatever. So you can do a funny voiceover for your serious mantra. You know, how would Jim Carrey do his mantra? Like, I am not angry, I am calm, whatever. Or picture a funny voice in your head doing the mantra, like Elmo.
Yeah. So how do you, though, make sure you're not, make sure you're reading the room correctly when humor might not be the appropriate thing to do, which not being guilty of that.
I was going to say, you asking that question is pretty ironic, pretty rich.
Well, Al, it sounds like this is a personal question you've got. But I would say start with yourself. Like humor at your own expense or humor about your own experiences is always the safest way to go. Or then humor about shared experiences, maybe things that are happening while we all work together, that kind of stuff. When you incur the most amount of risk and when you need to be the most expertise in terms of using humor is when you're trying to find humor in other people's experiences. So I would just say start with your own stories and you'll be an expert at it.
Self-deprecation.
Absolutely.
Really quickly, the three funny things. Really quickly, I want to make sure we get to these. Yeah.
So there's a great intervention you can do. So and viewers at home, you can start doing this today. 7-day challenge. Just think of every day for the next 7 days, 3 things you found funny or amusing and write them down. And people who did this just for 1 week increased their overall happiness and decreased depressive symptoms for up to 6 months because it's rewiring your brain to look for the funny stuff in life and start prioritizing the levity in life instead of the gravity of it.
Paul, this has been such a treat. Come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make that trip from Montana anytime. Well, thank you. By the way, the book is called The Humor Habit. It is available right now.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.